Hey guys, it's Luminus coming with on a YouTube video, and today I'm actually going to be doing a life story. So this is my first ever life story on this channel, and I'm actually pretty excited for this one. This is probably like one of my favorite life stories just because it's like my first fight. Basically, my first fight happened when I was like 11, and it was actually the first fight with my mom's boyfriend's kid that was the same age as me, except he was like a few months younger than me. I think I was 11 and he was 10 at the time. Right now I'm 15 and he's 15 too. So the reason I punched him was actually a good reason. So like it wasn't a fight that he didn't really fight back. I kind of just hit him, but he deserved it. So my mom actually lived with his dad at the time, and I always went to visit my mom. She lives in Vancouver somewhere, so I go there all the time to go visit her and stuff. Every time I went there, I would hang out with my mom's boyfriend's kid, so he was always there, and I would live there too for like 2 months in the summer and stuff. So basically I spent lots of time with this kid. He was my friend, I'd say. I guess me and him hung out all the time. We always played like air hockey and like video games together. We played NHL all the time together on his PlayStation 3 at the time, and we played mini sticks, we played hockey, we went down to the river, which was right beside my mom's house, and basically we did that all the time. Like we were mainly friends, but he would get so annoying sometimes. So like he whines all the time. So if we were playing hockey or something and I did something wrong and I didn't say sorry or something, or I didn't say like, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, he'd be like, why'd you do that, and stuff like that. He's that kid, you know, he's that kid that's just so annoying. And every time he doesn't get his way, he'll cry or he'll whine. Like he's like a baby. Like he called his dad daddy until he was like, I don't even know, probably like 14 or something. Who knows? Maybe he still calls his dad daddy. I don't know. But he calls his dad daddy. And if he doesn't get his way, he cries about it, or he whines, or has a temper tantrum or something. Like he's like a spoiled rich kid. Like his mom's rich and stuff, so he's like set for life basically. Like his mom will just give him money because she's rich. He's the type of kid that if he was like, hey mom, I want a $6,000 computer for Christmas, and then he doesn't get a $6,000 computer, he gets like a $5,000 computer, he'll cry about it. You know, he's like one of those kids. He's like a privileged white kid basically. So basically what happened was, his friend came over this one day. I don't remember his name, but he came over one day, and he was more into the stuff that I was into. I played lacrosse, he played lacrosse. I like shooting games like Call of Duty and Borderlands and stuff, and he liked shooting games like Call of Duty and Borderlands. When the other kid that I punched liked NHL and sports games and stuff, and he was like a pretty fat kid. You know, he was like, the kid that I punched was a pretty fat kid. Like he was pretty chubby, and he liked to play like NHL games, and he played hockey all the time, but he was still chubby, ate McDonald's like every day. And basically that's basically the kind of kid he was. And then his friend that came over, he was into the stuff I was into, like lacrosse and shooting games, that sort of thing, right? So like me and him were kind of like had like a better connection than him and the other kid that I punched. So me and him would just like secretly like leave that kid alone and be like, yeah, screw you, and we just do our own thing, right? And then he would like always say, the kid that I punched would always say like, you know, let's just give him the names. I don't know. The kid that I punched is gonna be, let's just call him John, and the kid that was John's friend, sorry, his name was Randy. So me and Randy would always hang out when he came over to see John, but me and Randy would secretly like kind of make fun of John. And then when Randy would leave, John would say to me that Randy said he hates me all the time, and that's all he says. He only says that he hates me, and you know, he'd say that thing even though like he clearly didn't, because me and him would just like make fun of John, you know. So because John's that kid that just cries about everything, and if he doesn't get his way, he's a kid that you don't want to hang out with, you know. So this one day, Randy came over again, and Randy and John this is weird calling them Randy and John. I don't know why I picked those names, the weirdest names. But Randy came over, and he wanted to go down to the river with John, and they wanted me to come, but I didn't want to come because I just got a new game. I just got Borderlands 2 at the time, and I was playing Borderlands 2, or maybe it was Borderlands 1, I don't remember which one, but I was grinding that game. I was like level 5 or something, I don't know. I was too focused on that game, I couldn't leave. So I was like, you know what, I'll come down in a couple hours if you guys are still down there or something. They were down at the river for probably, I think, around like 2.5 hours or something. They would go down to the river all the time, same with me, but like I wanted to play Borderlands at the time, so I didn't go down. So 3 hours passed. It was probably like 3 hours, and I was like, you know what, let's go down to the river. This game's boring. I was frustrated. I was probably stuck at a place, probably kept dying from stupid things. So I was like, you know what, let's just go down to the river. And I go down to the river, and I let Randy use my little boat that I got. I got this little orange boat. My mom's like not the richest, right? So she got me like a little cheap boat, and then since his parents are super rich, he got like this huge little like mini battleship boat, you know, like it's huge, right? So he wanted to use my boat for some reason. I don't know why, but I was like, you know what, screw it, you can use my boat, I don't care. So I let him use that boat for I let Randy use the boat because Randy didn't have a boat. This guy over here, John, he has this freaking battleship of a boat, you know. It's freaking huge. It's like literal battleship, you know. I let Randy use my boat because, you know, me and him are like, I like Randy, right? So I let Randy use my boat, and I'm like, hey, you can use my boat, go for it, you know. There's a paddle in the garage, you can use that, I don't care. I go down, and I'm like, hey guys, and then Randy's like, here Dylan, you can have your boat, I don't want it anymore. And then John over here is like, no, you can't give Dylan that boat back. And I'm like, it's my boat. He's like, yeah, but we're using it. And then Randy's like, I don't really want to use it anymore. I'm like, yeah, see, I want to use it. It's my boat. I just came down. I'll let you guys use it for 3 hours. Let me use it a little bit. And John's like, no, takes my boat. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to use the boat. And I'm like, okay, like, if I take it away from you, you're going to whine about it. So go for it. Just take the boat. And I didn't want to take the boat away from him, because if I do, he's going to whine about it for the next, like, 24 hours. So I was like, you know what? Just use the boat. I don't care. I'm just going to be the bigger man. Just step back from this fight. I don't care. So I let him use the boat, and guess what he does? He goes and he lays on his battleship of a boat and puts his feet over the edge into my boat just to hold it there. He's not even using my boat. Like, he could literally go into the middle of his battleship boat. Hopefully he doesn't sink it, because he's so freaking fat, but he could go into the middle of his boat and still have so much room, right? But no, he has to use my little tiny boat. That was like 15 bucks, right? And his boat was probably like 6,000 bucks. No, it was probably like 30 bucks, but whatever. So I'm like, okay, that, like, whatever. So he's lying on his back. He can't see, because if he looks to his right, which is where I was, if he looks to his right, he just sees like the little wall of his battleship of a boat, you know? So he can't really look at me or see what I'm doing. Randy told me to go flip him, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go flip him because I want my boat back, you know? So I go over there and I go underneath the boat, and so I was like, okay, I need to make sure I have so much force to push this kid all the way over the boat, you know? Because I don't want to break my back. I'm freaking 11 or whatever. I don't want to break my back lifting up this freaking kid that weighs 6,000 pounds, you know? No, I'm being a little bit too mean. I'm sorry. So I go over there, I just flip him, and he goes, and he gets so mad. Like, he starts screaming and swearing at me. I'm just laughing my ass off, you know? I'm just having a good time over there. Same with Randy. And then he starts, like, he's like, you know what? Just take your boat back. I'm telling you, and stuff, like, you know, like, what like a 11 or 10 or 11-year-old does, right? So I'm like, go for it. If you want to go tell, go for it. I don't really care. Like, it's my boat. You took my boat, so, like, go for it. You're the one gonna get in trouble, you know? So he starts going off on me, like, you're such an asshole. You do this, that, this. And I'm just sitting there laughing. And then he like takes my boat, and he just like the river, there's like, okay, so basically the river, it's going downstream, right? And there's like a little like ripple effect thingy that just like if you put something there, it just like goes flying down the river, right? And you have to like right where the ripple thing is, and there's like rocks, so you can't even swim. You have to like walk on rocks and bare feet. And there's like not crabs, but there's like crayfish, I don't know how to say it. So like I don't want to step on them because they're creepy, right? So he throws that into the little ripples things, and I don't know what they're called. Are they called ripples? Or he put it there, and it goes flying down the river, and it stops after a little bit, but it's super deep where it stops, right? So I'm like, okay, well now I have to go get it. So then right when he did that, I got so mad, because that was my boat, and he just threw it down there. So what I do, I just wind up and just punch this kid in the face, right? He just falls down, and then he starts crying. And at that time, I had so much adrenaline. I was so mad. I just started screaming at him like, you're such an asshole. I just started going off on him. And keep in mind, nobody really like, he just whines about everything. If he doesn't get his way, he cries. Like, nobody likes those kids, right? So yeah, but basically I didn't have to go get my boat, because my mom made him go get my boat. Joke's on you, kid. So basically, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. If you guys want more life stories, tell me down in the comments. If you liked this life story, tell me that you liked it. I don't know. If you guys have a similar story, if you guys have a first fight story, I'd like to hear it in the comments. If you guys want to tell me, you don't have to. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.